Hello, friends. Welcome to Akulmach Live, and I'm with you today. And as you can see, I'm actually live across all social media platform. The new year has started, and I thought this is something that is a good occasion for us to basically chat. And since I'm live, you can engage with me. In case you have any observation, any comment, or any question, you can engage with me using the chat function of your social media. And today's subject is how do we get up again in case of adversity and walk again in case of failure, because failure is part of our journey, as we all know that. And if you don't succeed, how you can learn not to give up, and some of the tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you based on my experience, which may be very useful for all the business people, all the professionals who are watching me live. All right, so the subject today is if you're feeling lost, alone, and on a journey towards making your company, your group, your work successful. However, you're not getting success. You are working very hard. You are working diligently, but you're not seeing the kind of success that you expect. Or when you started your journey towards this particular goal, you were thinking that, okay, if I do these things XYZ, I will make so much ground in terms of achieving the desired result. However, it has not come by. So one thing I like to tell you that feeling lost while working very hard, it is not something new. You can be very successful, still you can feel lost. Therefore, it is important for you to also know that work is important. And if you try to look too much into result, it may not be very good strategy for you, because you can be lost even when you're successful. However, let's go back to the subject where you are working very hard but not getting the result that you desire. So I must tell you that this is something which is a matter of great concern for all of us. We are all professionals. We are, in the same game. We are generating revenue. We are generating opportunities. We are diversifying based on certain strategy. Whatever strategy we have, we must have certain understanding of the marketplace. Based on that, we all decide, okay, I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a very systematic manner, I will get XYZ as a result. But this does not happen always. Primarily, this happens because when you decide your action points about that particular project, you have to actually look at those action point, and you have to ask yourself why you are doing this. What is the end objective? So even before you start your project, so that you don't start feeling lonely at the top, you must look at why you're doing this. You must ask this question. This question is not asked by many people. So you take a step, but why this step has been taken by you, nobody asked that, nobody questioned that. And nearly 50 to 60% people actually look at their market and see that, okay, fine, if there is an opportunity like this and there are other 10 people who are doing the same thing, then all these 10 people are successful, so I will also be. That is not the case, because the action point taken by those other 10 people may be different than your action point. Also, they are operating in a different market than you. So if everything is very common, then you can expect that, okay, fine, these 10 people are quite successful, so I will be. Then you can actually feel little sad if you don't achieve. However, that is not the case. So for example, if somebody is doing very well in Silicon Valley, it doesn't mean that product will get a hit elsewhere across the world, in any other, like in UK or India or China. So therefore, first of all, you must have that kind of clarity in your mind that whatever I'm doing, why I'm doing. I think that's the first very important, very powerful message I would like to share with all of you who are watching me live. Ask yourself, why you want to get into this new area. So if there is a new opportunity, why you want to start that, why you want to take that step. So friends, I'm seeing the messages are coming in, but I will respond to you one by one. So let's proceed to the next point that I want to share with you. And that is, in order to not feel very low, not feel lonely, and not feel that, okay, fine, I have been working very hard, not getting success. We want to basically get into a different kind of mindset, because maybe there is a reason why you're not getting success, because your mindset is still the old mindset. And let me give you an example around this. You see, what happens is, especially after 2020, certain things are not working. You might have done many big things in your career, in your corporate career, in your corporate journey, but many of those things are not working. Many of those things are sort of obsolete. The action points which were huge hit before 2019 are a complete failure after 2020. So if you have done everything by the book, you have followed the best guru's advice, however, if you are taking an action after 2020, it is a question of your mindset, because you are still having a mindset that you have 20 years of experience, or your guru has 20 or maybe 30 years of experience. If the guru is telling you something, it must be true today. But that is not the case today. So it's a question of mindset. Maybe you are working very hard, you're putting your 100%, but you're not getting success because it's a question of mindset. Mindset needs to be changed. It's a very important thing, and that's a good tip for all of us, including myself. We have to see how we can change our mindset. If we are following the old things which are not relevant today, then obviously that old thing or old step will not yield result. And that is also very true, especially if you look at 2024, because now we're getting into a absolutely new regime. Nobody knows what is going to happen in 2024, how business will basically evolve. A lot of things have happened in 2023. 2023 was a year of transition. It was sort of a year in between. Especially AI came in a very big way. 2024, you will see the real implementation of AI. So if you are not using AI the way AI is supposed to be used, obviously you have a different mindset. Your mindset is still stuck in 2020, and the world has moved along. I mean, if you look back, if you are in the industry for, let's say, even 5 years, last 5 years, how things have changed so rapidly from 2018 till 2023. There was no correlation between what was going on in 2017 and what is going on in 2021. Absolutely different. So therefore, it's a question of mindset, and it is not easy to change the mindset. Let me tell you that, it's easier said than done. What happens is that if you're thinking in the old ways, and there is no input, fresh input which is getting registered in your mind, it's obviously a question of mindset. So you have to consciously look at how you can look at something emerging. See, you have the knowledge, the market knowledge, but what are the trends? Are you looking at the trends? Are you absorbing these trends, which are very important? Are you looking at things which you think are relevant in order to take the action point? What are your customers? What the customers' needs? Who are your customers? What is the new demography? The person who was born after 2000 is 24 years old today. Don't forget that. And 24-year-old today is cash rich. Earlier, before 2000, if you were born before 2000, obviously you are in your 30s. But if you're born in 2000, in the year 2000, you're 24. If you're born after 2000, you're still a teenager. So it depends, who's your consumer. Is your consumer a person who was born in the Gen X, or is your consumer who's born in Gen Z? So I think that also determines, and therefore, if your mindset is not updated, then you keep working hard, you keep doing things by the book, but you will not get the desired result. So that is one thing which is very important. It's a good tip I want to share with you, that it's a time to change the mindset. It's easier said than done, but instead of working hard, start looking at the trend, who is buying, who has the money, and converting one or two customers is not going to give you anything, especially in this decade. You have to look at where is the mass market. If Gen Z is the major customer base, major demography across the world, then the Gen Z has the very peculiar conditions. They are looking for something which other people are not looking for. And if they are nearly 50% of the population of the world today, how can you ignore them? Therefore, you have to change your mindset in order to consider the requirement of Gen Z in order to be successful. I think that is one thing which is very, very important. I would like to mention that. Number 2 is developing practical plans and navigating your plans, overcoming the challenges. So when you basically make a plan, when you when you look at the somebody in the market has got a success by doing some 10 steps, and then you start doing the same 10 steps, but you're not getting any success. Maybe that plan is practical for that other person, and that person actually created a plan and also navigated overcoming all the challenges. That is why that plan worked for him. However, in your case, you are just looking at the other person and not having your own plan in picture. I mean, you can get inspired. I'm not saying that inspiration does not it should not be observed in the market. You can get inspired. However, your plan must be different than the other person's plan. It has to be very, very unique for you. Many times we do a lot of things which are like me too. That means some other person is doing it, so I will also do. Other person is successful, so I will also be successful. So it is me too. That guy is successful, me too is going to be successful. So this is the biggest mistake people do, that they get into the me too trap. So when you get inspired by looking at some forward magazines, looking at articles, looking at the Gartner reports, all kinds of data inputs you look at, but your plan has to be very unique. It has to be meant only for you. I'm saying this because if you just keep copying, well, copying is a very hard word, but if you just do not think through what is the point at which the other person got success, how he got success, what are the stumbling points, what were the challenges of that person, that means your data input is not sufficient. It's sort of incomplete. Even if you get the entire market research from a Gartner, by the time you finish reading the report, the market would have moved on. Because Gartner report and all these analyst reports are very, very exhaustive. They do a lot of analysis, and they also provide a lot of graphics inputs. In order to grasp all that and understand all that, implement that in your market, it will take a lot of time. So getting inspired is one thing, but then you must have knowledge, understanding of making a practical, workable plan with inbuilt mechanism to overcome challenges. And when I say overcome challenges, it actually means that you should always have a predetermined plan to overcome a failure. Because you can plan, you can read all the Gartner reports, all the analyst report, you can get inspired by the world best, but when you actually implement, and you would have actually done a lot of study, you would have planned for every eventuality, but still you cannot plan 100%. You can plan, you can put in your 100%, but that 100% will only result in 70% preparation. 30% has to be left to the industry realities, the customer behavior, regulations, any calamity which is beyond you. Anything changes in your marketplace, it is beyond you. You are completely surprised. So how can you prepare 100%? You have to put in your 100% so that you are at least 70 to 80% ready. That means 20% is still at chance. For 20%, you're supposed to make small plans so that in case something happens with regard to regulation, with regard to pricing, with regard to any natural calamity that might strike some portion of the world, there could be wars. Because of this, all these unforeseen elements, there could be need in the market, there could be dearth of need in the market, there could be price escalation, there could be reduction of price. There could be manpower availability issues, there could be the way you render services may undergo tremendous change. So I'm saying that even if you are a very smart person, you cannot plan more than 70%. I would say roughly on an average you can plan only to 50 to 60% only. That is a fair estimate. You can't even go up to 70% preparation. That means 50% has to be an ad hoc course correction. And therefore, when you implement something, you should be, again, going back to the mindset thing, you should have a mindset to make sure that as and when things come, you will actually start taking the corrective measures so that your ad hoc portion of your plan works for you. So again, going back to this whole point where people are working very hard, not getting results, there could be an issue related to mindset. That is point number one. There could be issue related to the market realities, which you cannot foresee when you start your working, when you put together your business plan. So therefore, these two elements are quite important. If you overcome these, mindset and ability to steer the actions as and when required, then you will be much happier. You will feel little satisfied. You will not feel lonely when in case of failure or in case of any success that you get. So now, discovering the hidden resources and networks is also very important. When you plan things, you may look inwards. Most of us basically look inwards, and we look at our own company, our own resources, our people who are basically within our friend circle, our family, friends, etc. Those people which are known to you as part of a network becomes your resources. However, we don't look at resources or the things which are available outside of our network. And therefore, it is important for us to know that there could be some hidden gems somewhere where we may utilize at that point in time whenever we need, but those are not part of our network. They are somewhere outside. So we should be open. Again, going back to mindset, that we are not having a mindset to harness the resource which is not visible today, but tomorrow it may be visible. So therefore, we must have the ability to look at the network and the resources which are available, not visible today, may become visible after some time in future, maybe 1 or 2 months, maybe 6 months down the line. But we should be open to look at all these different parameters while planning things. Now, before I proceed further, let me display the name of one gentleman who has sent me a message. And that is Brian Bing. Brian Bing is saying, good morning from Atlanta. Good morning, Brian. Pleasure you made it to this program. And if you have any question, any observation, feel free to pitch in and contribute. All right. So I was talking about the hidden resources, hidden gems that may be very important for us to basically be open to, harness, to use, to negotiate with, to attract. Because sometimes, in case we stumble upon a failure, a point of failure, we can overcome that by basically taking external help. And that external help can be, maybe LinkedIn can provide that in today's environment, where you can say that, look, I have this problem, who can help me? and you should be willing to basically provide that remuneration to the person who is able to help you, because losing business, losing big time, suffering a loss is not okay, but taking a help, even if you make a payment for that help, will actually save your business. So think like that. So there are actually many ways to do that. If you're not looking ahead and identifying these network related gems which may be visible, which may not be visible, but today they are visible, you can actually take help from the market and make sure that you actually have a mindset, open mind to look at these things as and when it comes. And you should be able to also negotiate with these resources as and when you feel the need. Now, this is a very important point where when you started your journey towards certain goal, you were very passionate, you were very excited, and you were basically going ahead and saying that, look, I'm going to do this because I have obviously you are excited because you're starting something new. But then after some time, when you don't get the success, then suddenly your passion goes away, your fire extinguishes completely, and then you're feeling very lethargic, and you're not thinking. So I think it is important to always look and behave in a very positive manner. You have to always feel a lot of passion every day. And therefore, it is important for you to be to not lose hope. One of the things that people suffer because of, they actually lose entire hope. They are very excited initially. They actually go into the market. They implement their plan and they do everything, whatever is possible. Still, they do not get success. So their passion goes down, their vigor goes down, and they think, okay, maybe I'm not doing the right thing. They actually get into a self-questioning form where they say, okay, fine, maybe something wrong with my plan, maybe there is something wrong with me, or something wrong with my team, or maybe something wrong with the project itself, the product or the services that you are actually trying to sell. So, well, that is a negative trait, isn't it, friends? If you start questioning yourself, it's a negative trait. If you start questioning and pinning a blame on some team member of yours, it is negative. Instead, you should always feel passionate and look at the problem solving part of it. So if you are able to be passionate, you are able to always show the positive side of you, you always have a positive outlook, then you will be able to identify what I should do. And if you don't have passion, obviously, then you will lose out completely, because you're not really focused. You're not looking at whether I have to do something or not. So that is why it is important for you to always look very passionate. You should be energetic, whether you're getting success or you're not getting success. In both the cases, you should always look positively towards everything that is coming your way, and you should always have this problem solving mindset. The day you lose this attitude, that is when you actually lose out completely. If you don't have this attitude of problem solving and positive attitude, you would actually lose out completely on the very same day. And that is what happens when you actually when you don't have hope. Then only you start questioning yourself, your product, your company, your market. Money is not coming in. That is the point at which you actually lose out completely. So therefore, it is not important to always look at the negative side. Look at the positive side. And that brings me to the last point, is that remember that if you are successful after 10 failures, you have actually worked hard for that and you have earned that success. And that struggle of multiple failures is the struggle of learning, and which actually eventually gave you the success. And after all this struggle, you have now reached the top, and you're enjoying that. So remember this is something which is very, very important. That's my last point today in my live stream, is that remember that this success will give you very sweet results. Success will give you very sweet position. Success will give you good revenue. So all of these things are very beautiful. So keep that in mind. Don't lose hope. Always try to do course correction. Always have positive bend of mind. Must have a mindset to understand what is working, what is not working. Starting something new, starting something which is going to work for the customer base, what customer wants. If you are still sticking to the old methods, obviously the customers of today is not something which is going to accept you, because customer don't want to accept you what you have. Customers want to buy what they need. So I think that is something which you need to have understanding. So it's a mindset issue. It's an issue of not having enough passion. It is an issue of not having enough positive attitude and realization that if you succeed against all odds, how much happiness you can get, how much fame you will get, and so much revenue you can generate for yourself and for your company. So friends, this is something which I wanted to share with you in the business tip section. I will catch you in the next one. Just in case if you have any questions, feel free to send it across and I will respond to each and every question. And the best message I will display in my next live stream. So friends, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.